Good morning, everyone. This is everyone's favorite girl gamer, Lauren the Fox, and I'm here with another Storytime with Fox video because apparently you guys are really liking my Storytime with Fox, and I'm not able to actually game a whole lot right now because of the recent surgery, but it's getting much better. If you watched my other two videos yesterday, you can tell the swelling has gone down tremendously from having my wisdom tooth pulled. So, this morning is a story time with Fox over her morning coffee. I figured that I would, tell you guys a little bit more about me and about my personal life and kind of what's been going on with me lately. I thought it might be a little bit therapeutic to talk to my YouTube viewers, my fans, and whatnot about some of the stuff that I've been going through. Um, Today's topic is difficult. Today's topic is loss. I recently lost my grandfather. He passed away September 26th, and it's been really difficult for me. I can talk about it without getting upset, and I'm dealing with things in my own way. I don't normally cry a whole lot. If anyone in my real life is watching this, you've probably never seen me cry over anything like emotionally painful. Um, Maybe physical pain every now and then, but it's very rare. It's very rare. In fact, you probably never see me do it. My boyfriend has, but he's a little different. He lives with me, and he gets to see all those vulnerable little parts of me. Um, I wanted to remind you guys that while you still have them, hug your grandparents. They might be old. They might not understand a whole lot of what's going on in your life. Do it. Hug them. Spend time with them. Love them. Even if they don't have internet at their house, because mine didn't. Um, if you got kids, or if your significant other has kids, like my boyfriend has a son, bring the kids, or the kid, over to their house. They love it. My grandfather had back surgery. He loved seeing my boyfriend's son. Every time I would call to check on him, I would call at least once a week to see how my grandma was doing, to check in on everybody. If I didn't get to visit because of work or school or whatever reason I didn't get to visit that week or whatever, I would always call and at least talk to him for a little while, even if I couldn't make the drive, because they live a pretty good ways away from me, about 45 minutes. And he would always ask me, well, how's the baby? How's Lance? How's your boyfriend? And it would make him really happy. And even whenever he had back surgery, he was in a lot of pain, which I totally relate to right now. And he was having some complications with it, and he he was always in a good mood every time I saw him, every time I talked to him. I called my grandma to check on him, and I heard him in the background. He used to call me Pookie, and that was his nickname for me whenever I was a kid. And he said, Pat, that's my grandma's name. He said, Pat, is that Pookie? And she said, yeah, Larry, it's Pookie. What? She says, hey. And he says, when's she coming to visit? And my mom said, well, she's coming to visit in the next couple days, Larry. We're going to see her. And he said, oh, good. Is she bringing the baby? The last time that I got to visit my grandparents, my grandfather actually got down on the floor and was playing with my boyfriend's son and was smiling and laughing, and both of them looked like they were having a blast. And it makes me so happy to think that the last memory that he has with me is a happy one with me and Lance and Connor, whatever you want to call him to me. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that my grandfather had fun, and that the last thing that my grandma remembers of the three of us is him sitting on the floor laughing and playing with Connor. And I've never seen him that happy in my life, and I've been there for everything. My favorite memories are over at my grandparents' house. We used to play chess. My grandfather had 3 strokes. The first one did not really do a whole lot to him physically. It didn't really impair his speech or anything like that. The second one, same thing. It impaired a little bit, but the last one that he had, the third, it messed up his hands. So he had problems gripping things. He had to go to therapy, really, a lot more intense therapy than he did for the first two. It messed up his leg, so one side of his body was affected, and it gave him a little bit of speech impediment. And we used to play chess every day during the summer whenever my parents would have to go to work. I used to love it because I go to my grandparents' house every day, and it was awesome. If my grandfather had to work, then my grandmother and I would go do something. Like on Mondays, we would go to the swimming pool, and on Tuesdays we would make something, like we would bake a cake, or we would try some new brownies, or we would do something like, food wise. And then Wednesday was crafting day, and like we would sew or draw or paint or something like that. And then Thursday we usually did like something outdoors. And we focused on something outdoors. We always went outside. I remember my grandmother and I used to take bike rides around the neighborhood every single day, and it was so much fun. And I cherished the time that I got to spend with my grandfather. Every day of it was amazing, and I'm trying not to get emotional, but every day that I got to spend with him was great. And I'm gonna remember those chess games that we used to play, because it took me 3 years to beat my grandfather at chess. And you're about to find out exactly how nerdy I am. I was on a chess team whenever I was in elementary school, and I stayed on a chess team through my church and through the library and through my community until I was about in ninth grade, whenever my parents moved, because my parents used to live in the city, and there was right, 15, 20 minutes down the road from my grandparents, so it wasn't too difficult to get from one place to the other. Well, whenever I got into high school, they moved out to the other part of the country, which was on the other side of that city. So it made it a little bit more difficult for me and my grandparents to kind of get to see each other. Now, I'm kind of have the best of both worlds. I live in the middle, and my grandma lives over here, about 45 minutes this way. My mom lives 45 minutes this way. And then my boyfriend's parents live 45 minutes this way. So I've got everybody in pretty close proximity to me. It's a good little drive. 45 minutes is probably about what it takes me to get there with traffic, or, on a regular day. But yeah, I didn't even need internet whenever I went to my grandparents' house. They got it for me. Actually, my uncle set it up whenever whenever I started getting to be a teenager, and I wanted to play my online games with my friends, and it helped me stay connected. My grandmother even played video games with me. Like, my grandfather, he played like Civilization, which it got me a love for strategy games. He played Monopoly with me. He played Risk. He was more of a board gamer, kind of old school, and so was my grandma. But my grandma actually, since my grandfather worked Monday through Friday, um, he was gone a whole lot during the day, and he didn't have a whole lot of time to really sit there at a computer, because he was a draftsman and an engineer, and he sat in front of a desk and drew things out all day and had to work with computers. And they were still in the part whenever he was doing drafting and engineering, where he actually hand drew everything out. So my grandfather and I would draw. We would draw all the time. We would do arts, crafts, stuff like that. It was so much fun. And I remember he got me my first computer. Actually, he got me a laptop that he had from work, and I played Civilization, and I would play Paint Shop on it and stuff back whenever that was big. And I had a lot of fun over there. And like I said, some of my best summer memories, as far as like what did you do this summer, that you get out of your house, because obviously I've got memories with my parents and all, I've got memories with my friends and stuff like that. But my best summer memories, as far as like getting out of the house, were we would go to the movies. My grandma and I would go do kids camp movies every summer, at least like twice a month, I think, 2 or 3 times a month. She'll have to correct me on that. I know she's not going to see this video because she doesn't do YouTube, and she doesn't do like internet or anything like that. But Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask her about it. But at his funeral, um, I got to meet everybody that I'd always heard stories about. Like my grandfather was really big into scouts, and I got to meet all the people that I had heard so much about, and it was awesome. So if any of you guys are watching this video that I had never met before Papa passed away, it was so comforting and uplifting hearing your stories and your memories with him. And feel free to message me, inbox me, get me on Facebook, anything like that, because it helps me deal with things. It helps me keep his memory alive, and it makes me feel so much better knowing that he had a bunch of people around him all the time. Even though I couldn't visit as much as I wanted to, I would have been over there every day if I could have. Um, it makes me feel so much better knowing that you guys and girls and everybody that was in his life was there and was such a good friend to him and made him so happy. He would talk about fishing and scout camp and hunting and all these crazy things that he would do over at the scout camp, and all these boys that they would come through and they would do something funny, or they would be like really innovative, or just memories that he shared with me that I'm so glad I have, because that's all I've got now is just the time that I spent with him. So if you're watching this video and you still have your grandparents, either one set or both sets or whatever, spend a lot of time with them, because they're not going to be here forever. And once they're gone, you're really going to have nothing left but their memories. And I've got some of his possessions, but those are just things. You know, those don't bring you any comfort. Those don't have significant meaning to you unless it's something that you did together. Like I have his chess set that we played chess with over at my grandma's house, and that holds so much more meaning to me than like his tie, or one of his little figurines or something like that. It holds so much more memory to me because it's something that we did together. So if you're watching this video and you're still fortunate enough to have your grandparents, please cherish the time you've got with them. As far as family goes, I am posting this on Facebook, so if you guys are watching this, I'm probably going to do a couple more of these Storytime videos about memories of Papa and stuff. That way, I know your stories helped me a lot whenever it came to getting past and accepting the fact that he's no longer with us, and it's helped me deal with it a lot better than I would have been able to otherwise. So you can comment some of your favorite videos, some of your favorite memories with him, and maybe if you're watching this and you don't know me, comment some of your favorite videos with your grandparents and call them. Even if they're going to keep you on the phone talking about stupid stuff, even if they're going to keep you on the phone talking about just random stuff that you have zero interest in at all, it makes them happy. It makes them happy because they sacrificed for you. They sacrificed for your parents, and then they sacrificed for you. And you need to be more appreciative of that. And I still feel like I didn't do enough. And I still feel like I didn't visit enough. And I still feel like I could have done more. And I still wish that I had more time with him. But at least I have all those great memories whenever I was a kid. So, people deal with loss in different ways. But mine is talking about the person and reliving memories that I have with the person, and kind of looking back on all the wonderful, great things that we did together. And also, I dive into video games and become really crafty. So if you want to watch my previous video, I always give a shout out at the end of all my videos. My previous video, I am starting to paint custom Rubik's Cubes, and I'll be selling those on eBay and maybe on Etsy. I don't know yet, but they're if you want more information about that, I'm not going to do too big of an advertisement. Check out Lander09's channel. That's my shout out. That's my bestie on YouTube. He's been really cool about, helping me kind of get through this too, because he's on the gaming aspect of it. So we play a lot of video games together. My boyfriend is physically here with me a lot, and he's taken really good care of me since my grandfather passed away. And He's been a really big support. I don't know what I would do without him. I mean, he's a very, very good distractor, and it's been really difficult for me. Like I said, I don't really cry a whole lot. I just don't. I did at the funeral, but I don't cry a whole lot. But still it still greatly affects me knowing that the other day I wanted to pick up the phone and say, "Oh my gosh, I painted this Rubik's cube." Like, I called my grandma, and I'm just like, "Hey, Mama, I painted this. I can't wait to show you pictures of it." And I almost told her, and tell Papa, I said, "Hey." So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the Storytime with Fox video. Sorry it was a little bit morbid there, but enjoy your time with your grandparents. And for all my family members out there and all the friends that I've got that knew him and all of his friends, if you're watching this, thanks again. You guys are awesome. And, don't be a stranger. Stay in touch. This is Lorena Fox. Happy gaming, guys.